The riots happening in Haiti. The MV Pacific Hope, it moves to Grand Cay to continue with the reconstruction work. YWAM Trentino is in need of a new ministry location. Talk about some of the challenges that we found in reaching out to Indigenous Australians. YWAM Milano runs a community center in Italy. YWAM Teams helps to restore a site in Papua New Guinea. YWAM Athi River hosted a medical missions team in Kenya, and more on this episode of the YWAM News Show. All right, so thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Youth of the Mission News Show. I'm your host, Bill Hutchison. You can find links to everything that we talk about on the YWAM News Show website at ywampodcast.com/120. You can also contact us there and subscribe to future episodes of the podcast if you want to download the audio, subscribe to the audio, or you can also watch the videos on the YouTube channel or on ywampodcast.com. So the first story that we have for you this week is actually about Haiti. Haiti's been seeing ongoing protests and riots for quite a few months. Youth of the Mission has numerous operating centers in Haiti, and we have this update from YWAM St. Mark.
Hey everyone, this is Wayne Snow bringing you an update on how things are going here in Haiti. I am very happy to report that 3 days inside of the park, we were able to pull off a complete park cleanup, repainting the monument, getting that ready to repaint the 10 Commandments on it, and bringing hope to a lot of people. And really we want to be doing that, walking in the opposite spirit. Enemy comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And we want to come to bring life. Yesterday we went out to the 5th section in Gervais where we did some door-to-door out there and reconnected with the people that we've been ministering to out there for this past year. It was a very positive time, and we were going to go out today. However, there was a lot of reports on manifestations planned today. So right here in St. Mark, when we go outside and into town and stuff, we're not really concerned about our safety as much unless there's something that is actually violently going on. We take precautions in going out during activities and stuff like that, but our primary concern is resources, not being able to get resources. The country in many ways has been shut down as far as fuel goes. Fuel's not coming into the country, and if it does, it's not getting dispersed to cities outside of Port-au-Prince. And then even if it does get dispersed, so many businesses are not selling the gas or distributing the gas because they're afraid of the market. There's just so many variables going on that are keeping people from being able to buy and sell that now everybody else is starving for fuel. We have not been able to purchase fuel for about 2 weeks now. Fuel runs our generators. Our generators power our inverters, which keep our kitchen lights on. It keeps our classroom lights on. It keeps our personal private housing lights on. It keeps our security lights on it. Without electricity, there's so much that we do on a daily basis that either shuts down or dramatically decreases in our output. So just for everyone that's asking the question, how is this impacting you? It's getting to the point where I'm looking 8 weeks into the future and just wondering where are we going to be at as far as our resources go so that we can maximize what we do today in the most efficient way possible. So Haiti's right now going on in about 4 weeks of protests that are keeping the roads blocked up. But at this point right now, we're having to cancel discipleship training school speakers that are supposed to be coming in, and there's teams in October and November that we are going to have to start canceling. We need your prayers. We need prayers that the roads can be unblocked. We need prayers that resources can be delivered.
So as you would have seen, Youth of the Mission Haiti is continuing with their work in the nation, continue to work in the neighborhoods and with the people there. Right now, we're working at preaching God's good news throughout the nation, cleaning up the areas in their cities, delivering care packages around the communities, and more. They're also partnering with other local churches and ministries, and they're working with media outlets to communicate the message of God to the people of Haiti. best place that you can get updates of the situation in Haiti and YWAM's work there is on the Facebook page, which is linked to at YWAMpodcast.com/120. Now, the YWAM ship, MV Pacific Hope, has actually moved to Grand Cay after spending over a month in Freeport. The ship has actually moved to help with the construction and the rebuilding there. As we reported in episode 118 and 119 of the YWAM News Show, while in Freeport, Pacific Hope has been able to feed thousands of survivors and distribute water, supplies, and assisted in rebuilding the community. In Grand Cay, the ship will will join the team that's already there on the ground. There's still a lot to be done in the devastated communities and for the survivors and the families in the Bahamas. They've been able to bring roofing supplies, lumber, peel and stick, and much more to the island of Grand Cay. They finished the nursing quarters already and 2 other roofs with peel and stick, and they're continuing to do more. Pacific Hope is helping with the receiving, coordination, logistics, building, and much more. The team on the ship still needs more help. They're looking for carpenters, electricians, and pretty much anyone with building or construction backgrounds. They're also wanting general volunteers to help with the construction and the garbage removal. So the team on this ship, you can find out more about it and how you can get involved at the MV Pacific Hope Facebook page, or if you don't have the time to help, you can also donate on the GoFundMe page. And again, you can find links to all those at YWAMpodcast.com/120. Now, YWAM Trentino in Italy is actually finding themselves in a bit of a bind at the moment, and they're asking for our prayer from around the world. On October the 21st, the YWAM team serving in Trentino needed to move out of their previous residence. They've had many opportunities come up while they've been trying to find a new place, but so far every single one of them has actually fallen through, and that opportunity has been closed off. So they're continuing to look and pursue opportunities, and they're asking that we would please join them in prayer. I'm sure that they'd love to hear that you're actually praying for them. And you can do that on their Facebook page, which is linked to at YWAMpodcast.com/120. And that's where they first asked for the prayer, and that's where they're having updates and telling us what's happening with their search for a new place. So as we reach out to Indigenous Australians, there are some unique challenges, and we actually get to hear from Peter Brownhill now about what some of the challenges that we face are.
Up in the Kimberley, but also from what I'm hearing around Australia. Like even next week, we're going to a camp with our Indigenous kids that's grown from, I think, 30 or 40 last year, and it's already up to 75. And these are Indigenous kids just from WA, and there's a real hunger that's taking place. And we're finding the right message, and we're finding access and gateways through elders to get into Aboriginal tribes and communities, and developing resources and relationships, and things are really starting to open up. But the challenge of the Aboriginal world is a challenge to the church, where we've got to really find ways to really humble ourselves and to be able to get to a place where we really get creative with solutions led by the Holy Spirit, and to be able to get language, and to be able to get the Bible in their own language, and to be able to find ways where we can teach back some of their language to them so that they can read, and using maybe oral to oral to be able to get the Bible so that they could at least listen to the stories of the Old Testament and the New Testament, and where they can actually then come on fire with the presence of the Holy Spirit. So that's the challenge with the Indigenous. But we are seeing some great things take place amongst the Indigenous through the churches that are ministering among them all over Australia. But we've still got a ways to go.
Cool. Good.
So Youth of the Mission Perth is continuing to reach out to regional communities in Western Australia, and it works in small, under-resourced Aboriginal communities in the outback. You can find out more about the opportunities on their website, including how you might be able to get involved, on their website, ywamperth.org.au. Now, YWAM Milano is in Milan, Italy. And right now they're running a community center there. Now, one of the things that they do is running kitchen classes for teens who are currently in difficult situations. The boys there can learn how to cook. They can also learn skills so they can find a job. And at the same time, they can remember their home life and kind of how, mom used to cook for them. So YWAM Milano has also been able to distribute 550 books last week with amazing stories for kids from 5 to 11. These books are donated to them, and they've been able to distribute it all over Milano, which is great. And you can find out more about them on their Facebook page, which, as usual, is linked to at YWAMpodcast.com/120. Now, YWAM has continued to work in Papua New Guinea with partnerships there with the government, with different just local groups there. So a visiting YWAM team comprising of eye specialists and nurses helped local eye specialists at the Mount Hagen Hospital in the Western Highlands of Papua New Guinea to restore the sight of 113 patients last week. The program took over 9 days to complete. All the surgeries were a success, and all the patients returned to the village with their sights fully restored. Most of the patients were elderly from the Western Highlands. The patients had cataracts removed. They were operated on for pterygiums and also treated for band keratopathy. Probably pronounced it wrong, but you can read what these are at YWAMpodcast.com/120. The YWAM team was commended for their teamwork by the Western Highlands Health Authority, and the YWAM team is exploring other locations in PNG where they continue to be of assistance to the people there. You can find out more about this specific outreach that they were involved in on the national newspaper of PNG, and you can find the link to that one at YWAMpodcast.com/120. In July, Youth of the Mission Athi River in Kenya hosted a team from Seoul team as they reached out to the people of Machakos and Nyeri counties. The specialized teams of nurses and optometrists served more than 200 people in the community that they reached, giving free eye checks and glasses according to the individual's needs. You can find out more about it on the Athi River website at YWAMathiriver.org. This month, Youth of the Mission is prayed for children at risk for our global prayer day. YWAM is engaged in many ministries around the world working with children at risk. And one of the ways that you could start to get involved in this kind of ministry is with the Children at Risk School. Now, YWAM Cebu, in the Philippines is actually running the Children at Risk School starting in April of 2020. The Children at Risk School is for Christians who are passionate about reaching out to children at risk, including street children, refugee children, kids from broken families, orphans, children with HIV and AIDS, and other children with different needs and challenges in their lives. It's a full-time school with a 3-month lecture phase. The teachings and methods are developed in such a way that students can put them into practice straight away. They'll be able to create their own detailed ministry project plan or personal development plan to help them further their ministry goals in very practical ways. After those first 3 months in the classroom, some schools and some students on schools are offered an outreach of 3 months with cross-cultural experience, while other schools offer 1 or 2 periods of a 3 to 6 month practicum. Both options, outreach and practicum, are offered to help the student put into practice the lessons learned during the lecture phase. You'll find out more about the school on the YWAM Cebu website at ywamcebu.org. Now, YWAM Dunham in Quebec, Canada, will be running the School of Acting for the Screen in January.
The acting school is a fast track for learning the tools and techniques of the acting industry, and for many, it's also a way for them to figure out if they want to pursue acting as a career. It's a 12-week hands-on program through technique work, rehearsal, and acting in short films. 12 weeks means it's a short enough time commitment, but it's long enough to offer a deep and meaningful journey into acting. One of the greatest strengths of the acting school is that it's run side by side with the School of Filmmaking, and that collaboration allows students to be cast in short films and to grow in their on-set experience. So by the end of the school, students will have enough footage to put together a demo reel, which will help them get their work out there in booking professional projects. By the end of the school, you'll have a realistic expectation of what acting is, and whether or not this might be an industry that God's calling you into.
So as you heard, the school is actually also running alongside the film school, which provides another avenue into the film industry. You can find out more about both those schools on the YWAM Dunham website at YWAMJEMDUNHAM.com. The University of the Nations Bali will be running a community development school starting up in January.
Hi, my name is Kent Truel, and I want to commend the Community Development School at U of N Bali starting January 24th, 2020. It's a great school. It will really equip you, train you to be used as an agent of transformation in communities around the world. I've had the privilege of working in development in the Amazon jungle, being as a development practitioner, facilitating change in the lives of individuals, families, and communities. And this school will help you to do the same. It'll give you the principles and the knowledge and understanding needed to bring that social change, bring personal change, bring community transformation. So come to the school, be a part of it, beginning the 24th of January, 2020 at U of N in Bali. I'll be one of the speakers, a great lineup, so don't miss out. Come and be a part. Hope to see you there.
So you can find out more about the school, what it covers, and how you could learn foundational biblical truths essential for the transformation of cultures on their website, uofnbali.org. YWAM Chico School of Intercessory Prayer will be starting up in April next year. The School of Intercessory Prayer is a 12-week course designed for DTS or CDTS graduates. In this school, you'll venture deeper in your relationship with God through hearing His voice in new ways and experiencing His heart for the unreached and broken that they'll be praying for. It consists of a lecture phase followed up by an outreach phase. And here's the testimony of one of the past students for the school.
Hey guys, my name is Alex. I'm doing the School of Intercessory Prayer here at YWAM Chico, Richardson Springs. And I just wanted to kind of let you know a little insight into what I've been learning and the process that God's really been taking me on during this school. Going into this school, I really wanted to grow in leading corporate intercession. That was definitely my heart. And my desire was to have those principles and those techniques to bring people into intercession and create a space where it's really fun and powerful to pray for the nations. What I didn't expect was the transformation that God was going to do in my heart as well. Coming into this school, I was really wrestling with who I was and what it really meant to be a daughter of Christ. And throughout our lectures thus far in the school, I've really been taking ownership that I am part of the sonship. I am a daughter of Christ, and I have authority to walk in my identity and to pray for the nations in a powerful way. And because we're all co-heirs. And so it's stepping into that co-heirship with God and really hearing His heart. Another thing that I've really learned and it's really been processing is the fact that God's literally crying out for His people. And He's crying out for us as sons and daughters to pray for the nations and to listen to what's on His heart. And so that's what intercession really is. It's about saying, God, like, I want to hear your heart. I want to know your heart. Where's your heart breaking? And then it's listening to Him and releasing His words that He's speaking to you over those nations. And it's a powerful time of just stepping in His presence and of being wrecked by the Holy Spirit in that as well. And so I guess my question for you is, God's crying out for you to intercede, but will you respond to Him?
So you can find out more about that school and how you can get involved by heading over to ywamchico.org. So thank you so much for listening to us and for watching this video and hearing a bit about what God is doing in Youth with a Mission around the world. If you do want to subscribe, if you want to find out more, head over to YWAMpodcast.com/120. That way you can actually watch each of these videos individually. You can also find links to every single story that we talked about so you can find out more for yourself. You can also, when you head over there, you can subscribe to hear this via email or you'll receive email updates. You can also listen to it and subscribe through iTunes, Google Podcast, or however you actually listen to the podcast. So again, thank you so much for watching and for checking out what God is doing in Youth of the Mission at this time. And I look forward to hearing from you and also from talking to you next time. While you're at it, since this is a video, you can hit like, subscribe to this channel, and you should be receiving the updates and hear about when we upload more stories here. So thank you so much, and we will chat to you next time.